Game 6 is the Steelers at the Jaguars, with a total of 47.5, and the Steelers favored by 5.5. The Steelers are one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and they've converted nearly 80% of their drives that reach the red zone into a touchdown. Quarterback Ben Roethlisberger had problems with the Jaguars in their 2 games last year, but the Jags defense is hardly the same intimidating unit this year. The Jaguars have allowed 3 or more touchdown passes in back-to-back games, and you might get Ben at extra low ownership if the public sees the matchup and just avoids him. While it's possible that stud corner Jalen Ramsey will shadow number 1 receiver Antonio Brown, he's proven over and over that he's matchup-proof. And in their 2 games last year, Brown turned his 30 targets into 289 yards and 2 touchdowns. His target volume has been down a little for the last month, but that's not enough to discourage me from playing Brown, especially on DraftKings, where his price has fallen under $8,000. Number 2 receiver Juju Smith-Schuster has only 1 less catch than Brown this year, and he's leading the team with 18 red zone targets. But his targets are erratic and his price is high, making him a tough buy if you're not stacking the Steelers. And tight end Vance McDonald is averaging less than 5 targets a game, but has been efficient with his touches. He's considerably cheaper on DraftKings and faces a defense that's allowed 5 touchdowns to the position over the last 2 weeks. Le'Veon Bell is officially Steelers history, so congrats if you picked up James Conner early in your season-long league. This week, Conner draws a Jaguars defense that's average against the run, plus his price is down after an underwhelming game in the blowout of Carolina. Conner looks like a great value on DraftKings, and he's definitely playable on FanDuel, so nothing about this matchup discourages me when the Steelers have a team total of 27. It's really fun to make jokes about Blake Bortles sucking, but the guy is a legit fantasy quarterback. He's had solid box scores in 4 of his last 6, and continues to add value through his legs by rushing for over 25 yards a game. But Bortles has been heavily matchup dependent this year, and I won't be playing him against a Steelers defense that's allowed the fewest yards per play over the last month. After weeks of mixed usage, we finally found some consistency in the Jaguars' passing game. The 2 lead receivers are deep threat Dante Moncrief and slot man Dede Westbrook. They're almost the exact same price this week, and neither has really distinguished themselves as a significantly better option than the other. I guess I'd go with Westbrook this week, if only because Moncrief's recent big game will increase his ownership. Running back Leonard Fournette returned from injury last week and played just over 50% of snaps, but still handled a massive 29 touches in a close contest against the Colts. He faces a much better defense in the Steelers, but it's hard to argue with volume like that, especially when it includes 5 catches. Fournette definitely won't be high-owned, and I think he's an intriguing, volume-driven play despite the bad matchup. With Fournette handling the bulk of the backfield touches, we can gloss over TJ Yeldon, even if he remains involved in the passing game.